Wednesday morning, everybody. Bright and early. Chilly day. My car is getting colder. It says it's 29 degrees out. Woohoo. Hey, Matt. How you doing, bud? It's a chilly morning out here. I know didn't want to get up, come out in this. Today is more of a conversation than me talking about paranormal creatures, cryptids, specters, ghouls, what ifs. Today, I didn't feel like deep diving into anything, so I just figure I would. A question that popped into my mind about paranormal equipment, ghost hunting equipment. And what made me think of this question, and we'll deep dive into it, or I'll talk more about it in a minute when more people pop in. But what made me think about this question was I was watching a team on YouTube. I swear to God, they had about a U-Haul worth of equipment. So I was like, what the heck? Hey, Matt, I got a photo that I'll send you. I shared it on the YouTube Facebook page yesterday. It's of, I think it's my great aunt and her sister, so great aunts. I don't remember exact genealogy of it, but related anyways. It's a photo, and it's got something kind of in the background that's kind of neat and interesting. Good morning, Lee, but at least neat and interesting to me. I shared it on the Facebook page. Lee, I sent you the photo this morning. Kind of neat, but so yeah, I was watching this paranormal team yesterday, and they had all kinds of equipment and such, and I was like, I get having all the latest tech, all the latest fun stuff. It's fun to have those lights and those bells and those whistles and all the video cameras and all the tech and such. But when is it too much? When is it that we've had so much that we're actually being counterintuitive? You know what I mean? Because I have to feel like that's what happens to a lot of these paranormal teams that are on TV is they get so much going on while they're trying to film and trying to be part of a show and such that they miss out. That was Ghost Adventures deal. But when they first started, just 2 guys or just 3 guys with no big camera crews following us around. All right, Matt. So don't know how to tell you to fix that, but so that was a Ghost Adventures crew's deal, was no big camera crew following us around. And I got a feeling when they first started out, they were getting stuff. Ghost hunters, when they first started going around, I don't think they had that big crew following them around. And when they started getting all that and started getting into all that high-tech stuff that they were probably getting from having a budget from the TV show, I think that's when they started to not have as good of evidence and such. And they had to really put stuff out there as little things they had to overreact to. And so as teams, that, like I said, I get it. I understand having all that stuff and wanting all that stuff, especially if you do stuff on social media and such. You know what I mean? Like their shows Taps or whatever you watch. Yeah. Yeah, I believe. Well, Taps was the name of the team, the Atlanta Paranormal, something like that. But the TV show was called Ghost Hunters. Taps, the Atlantic Paranormal Society or something like that. Yeah, Taps. So so I've also seen people, like I was saying, I get it that, good morning, Jonathan, from Crossover Paranormal Society. I haven't been seeing your lives much lately. I've been kind of glancing so I can pop in. But yeah, so we go out with all this stuff, and when we got our social media, our spirit boxes, and the lights that interact and such, gets us the views, get us the attention. People love to see that kind of stuff. But are we hurting ourselves from getting true interaction by simply having a voice recorder and maybe a camera of some sort, and just calling that good? Instead of setting up one room with 5 camcorders, REM pod, spirit box, obelisk, trip lights, and laser grids. Don't get me wrong, I'm guilty of this stuff myself, all but the obvious. I don't have one of those yet. So I'm not coming at this angle as in preachy judgment that, I don't do this stuff myself, but I am coming at it as in, like, I'm wondering if even the little bit of stuff we have that we use every time is too much. Like I said, that's because this thought was brought on with seeing a paranormal team with so much equipment that they had to take 4 or 5 trips back to their vehicles. All you need is a voice recorder and a dream. And a dream, huh? Well, I got an imagination. Is that close enough? Here's a t-shirt look if I've ever seen one. So I'm thinking maybe teams need to go back to the basics. Yeah, that's just an awake dream. Yeah. How you doing, Phoenix? I hope you're doing well this evening for you. So, yeah, go back to the basics. I think more teams need to start doing that. Go back to the, like Matt just said, voice recorder and well, maybe more than just a dream, but voice recorder, maybe a camcorder, or I don't know if they're called camcorders anymore, but video camera, and try that on our investigations for at least for a few minutes. I hope you're doing. My car's finally heating up. But I do believe as these famous shows were growing and there was more camera people and more equipment being brought in, the less evidence they were getting. And I will tell you that from experience, when we had larger groups on some of our investigations, we were getting no activity, even in places that we get activity all the time, like the Warren Mall. When we were able to get into there to do investigations, when there was about 6 of us, or our team, we'd get stuff. And if we only had 1 or 2 more people, or a couple more people, we were fine. But when we were doing public investigations for charity, and we got like the larger groups of like 15, 20 people, I always felt bad because we really didn't get much. And just heads up, Leefoot puts the show on in the background while he's getting ready for work. So a lot of time he misses the chat. So if he doesn't say good morning back and such, it's generally because he's off getting ready for work. He just likes to listen to me ramble for a half hour. I think what it really is I'm his ride into work, so he wants to make sure I'm coming in. Yeah, no doubt. I understand that. Don't want to drop that in the water, your phone in the water or something. But so I think we need to. That's called multitasking. But I think we need as teams to kind of start going backwards a little bit and start getting back to basics. And, this is just my view, my opinion. I don't know if it amounts for much, but I think our world is getting to be so advanced technology that we keep bringing stuff in that I think we're starting to ruin our chances. But yeah, the more people we are bringing in and such to the mall, the worse chances are. The one thing that I always like to bring up is that's right, Matt. I've been thinking about where I could go to investigate where we could go. One thing that I like to brag about when I bring up the mall and equipment, and if you watch this stuff, these shows for a while now, you've probably heard me talk about it, is the Warren Mall towards the end of its heyday, they had a speaker system hooked up through the whole mall for the hallways and such. And at the end, they had an FM tuner and play local radio stations. And I would hook my spirit box up to a FM transmitter, and I'd find the radio station on the mall speaker system. And so I would pump the mall full of that white noise energy for an hour or so. I turn it down just a little bit before the mall closed so you could barely hear it. So it wouldn't bother anybody. But I would have it set up to run through their system and pump that building up full of energy for a couple hours before we get in there. I'm sure that I'm one of the few, if not the only one, that set a spirit box up to such a large system. I mean, I don't know how many square feet of building that is, but it's a mall, or it was a mall. Now it's a strip mall. I can't imagine that there was many people that would pump so much energy into a building that was already have all kind of activity in it. That building was pretty strange. I mean, all kind of activity in that place. From now, the roof was solid steel beams and concrete and whatever a mall building is made out of, and we could literally hear footsteps coming from the roof. Now, you know how heavy you'd have to be to make footprint sound coming from the roof? Leafa heard me. Yeah, Leave's finally saying morning back. Leave, remember the footsteps in the mall up on the roof? Actually, our one member was doing maintenance there, and the night we brought him into the group, we called him up, said, "Hey, we'll be there," and such. He knew that I had worked there before, so he knew I knew the building, and we joined him. We gave him the news. We were all happy, and he's like, "By the way, were you guys up on the roof? What the hell?" It's like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Were you up on the roof?" We're like, "Oh, that's weird. I am seeing things." That was weird. I know you guys don't. I thought I seen somebody standing on the side of the road, and when I looked closer on the other side over there, looked like there was somebody standing over there wearing nothing but dark clothing, hard to see. Even when I went back, it looked like there was a silhouette. Went by, it looked like there was a see-through silhouette there. I need coffee, people. That made me lose track of my thought. So yeah, he accused us of being up on the roof of the building, jumping around to mess with him and play with him, and we weren't. We weren't. He seen us like 3 minutes after we arrived at the building, because it took us a minute to find him in the building. That place had. It's a shame that it got tore down. We couldn't go there anymore. That place was lots of fun. Never disappointed. But yeah, sorry guys, that kind of distracted me and threw my thought process off. I got to regain it. I might have to go back and see if I can see what I see. But so yeah, back to the topic was, like I said, I think teams need to kind of take an hour or so and kind of just do a basic session with very little equipment, and then they can break out the heavy hitters and see if basics will get you somewhere. like unlike before. Uh, I will try to come up with a topic to talk about tomorrow. Um, I don't know if you guys like the talking about teams and such and ghost hunting and such more than me talking about types of cryptids and hauntings and such, but we'll figure it out. We'll find that sweet spot where you guys enjoy these conversations and it makes it worthwhile. This topic was a little bit easier because I really didn't have to research it. I was able to just talk about something that I have some familiarity with, which makes for a better, easier conversation on my end. So, but I'm almost to the point where I go to get my coffee. Coffee. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. It's supposed to warm up here a little bit today and be in the 40s. Spring's here by calendar, but otherwise it won't be long before it's here. But I will bet I'll see you later, Jonathan. I was just wrapping up anyways. I hope you have a great day at work. And he says, have a blessed day, everyone. So y'all have a good day. I'm where I'm going to go get coffee. So as always, stay spooky, my friends.
Well, hey everybody, thanks for stopping down and appreciate the visit. Now get the hell off of my porch. We'll see you the next time. Come on back.